This video discusses the idea of how to win when you move to a new market and know no one. Okay. So one of the reasons why I want to have this conversation is a lot of people understand that there are times where your market changes. Sometimes it's death, sometimes it's divorce, sometimes it's opportunity, sometimes it's in-laws, sometimes it's children, sometimes it's lifestyle, sometimes it's health. There's always situations in which geographically you may change. If I'm a real estate professional, a lending professional, and I go to a new market, how do I jumpstart my business? And the reason why this is important is because far too many people are forced or faced with the option of making that move, and they are fearful about whether or not they can continue their real estate or mortgage practice in a new location. So one of the persons that comes to mind is a gal named Kristen Hansen. I've known Kristen for about a decade, and I can tell you that Kristen has moved from California to Texas, from Texas to Florida, from Florida back to Texas, and in that process consumed about 8 professional years of her business. And one of the things that I think is really important to understand about making a geographical move like this is you can make anything happen in any new market in 90 days or less. Now, in our world, we call this the 90-day burn. And the 90-day burn is a very, very simple construct where you come in kind of with the art of war mentality, and you're able to get the business going in very short order because of the recipe I'm going to give you. So I'm going to teach you 3 things on this video, and I bet you what it will do is a couple things for sure. It'll accelerate how fast you start making money. And I believe that with that in mind, you could make money in the first 30 days, knowing no one and having no contacts. I also believe that the second thing that will happen is within those 90 days, you'll have the relationships and partnerships that if you deploy the circle of cash flow and the referral mechanism that we teach and talk about almost on every video, then your business begins to scale in a remarkable way. So, in order to tell you the story about Kristen, I need to go back about 20 years and tell you the story of John Ingvall. So John Ingvall's been a friend and a client, well, a client first and then a friend for the better part of probably 30 years. And I remember in the early 2000s, I believe, John and his wife, Andrea, were moving to, I think it was Fresno, California, okay? Kind of mid-Central Valley in California. And John and I were talking, he goes, how do I get into a brand new market? And I said, well, the first thing you need to do is decide who are the best. And in this season, it was real estate agents. Who are the best real estate agents in town? And so we built a list. This is step 1, right? His filter was, I want to target market the top 15% of real estate agents. And in the market he was in, that was 65 real estate agents. Okay. And so if you think about that, I believe he had connected with the title rep. The title rep helped him figure out who the top 15% were. And what he was going to do is use the approach strategy that we teach in the high trust methodology. It's called the law of the bullseye. It's in high trust selling. The law of the bullseye says, do business with the best prospects or you'll do business with any prospect, right? So to have a filter and to have a discipline about who you want to do business with requires you to make sure you know their volume and to somehow make sure that you're compatible before you even begin to market to them, right? So in the approach, we taught, still teach today, and it is still working today, FedEx or UPS overnight envelope, a introduction letter, including the name of the referrer, and a signed copy of a book, one of our books, if you'd like, because you can then say in the letter that you're a friend of mine, and you can buy the books 24 at a time in the cases, and we'll autograph them, personalize them. It's pretty exciting, right? And then you send the FedEx out based on your marketing schedule. So number 2, determine your marketing schedule. So John's marketing schedule was 1-a-days. He was going to take 65 business days to reach 65 real estate agents one at a time. Now, the goal was that when he would send the FedEx UPS letter book out, he would follow up in 48 hours. So I send it on a Monday, I follow up on Wednesday, I send it on a Tuesday, I follow up on Thursday, I send it on a Wednesday, I follow up on Friday. Go listen to How to Master the Art of Follow-Up if you haven't listened to that, because this is where the money is, right? So he's following up and he's actually blown away by the response. So powerful is the response that he had to actually, 3 weeks into it, slow down sending out the new packages because he had had about an 80% response with about 20 real estate agents to this point in time during that first month. So he kind of pumped the brakes and paused it a little bit and then moved it to 3 a week. And then as he tells the story, inside of the 61st to the 90th day, he had met with 35 real estate agents, had 32 borrower conversations, and I can't remember the exact number, but it was in the low teens, 13 or 14 new loans. Okay, so it is what are my standards? Who do I want to do business with? And again, this could be builders, it could be anybody, but the agent is where John started. And then you go from that to say, okay, I'm going to follow this recipe, which is absolutely, quote, patented because it works. And we get about a 93% success rate setting appointments. People are absolutely blown away. If I had more than 10 minutes to explain how blown away they are, there are agents. I'll tell you one right now. A guy named Dan Keller, who's a high trust graduate and has been on the sales mastery stage, sent me a voicemail one time. And he said, I've been going after this real estate agent for 2 years, no luck. That 5-minute video on send a book overnight with a letter changed everything. He called me and he said, in all my years of doing real estate, I've never received something like this from a lender. And that's the power of this, right? So back to John Ingvall. So John Ingvall in 90 days has the mortgage business going. He lays into that the circle of cash flow, and the rest, as they say, is history. When Kristen Hansen moved from California to Texas, she did that. When she moved from Texas to Florida, she did that. And when she moved back to Texas, she is again doing that, adding a few new clients to the client base she has maintained there during her time away. And then here's the third thing you have to do. The third thing is you must schedule with new people in the new town that you knew no one. You must schedule 12 weeks of follow-up. And the 12 weeks of follow-up, again, falls into the follow-up video. It also falls into the lender and realtor partnership video that we did, and it's called Partnership Planning. 99% of loan officers don't do this, okay? And that simply means like when John Ingvall would meet with one of these agents and the agents would say yes, John would say, I'd like to schedule 12 weeks of follow-up, 15 minutes a week. And in every one of those follow-up sessions, I want to check in, make sure we're doing great together as a new partnership. I want to continue to learn what you're looking for and what needs you have that I'm not filling that I need to fill. And I want to make sure that you and I are working together to build each other's businesses in an intentional and direct way. Okay, and so that gets scheduled. Today, you send that calendar invite out on your digital device and put an end date 12 weeks from now, and you're off to the races. So you literally, I believe, and I say this without any sense of pride or attitude or anything, but I do believe I could fly into any market, and in 90 days, as a lender or a real estate agent, I could have enough business to build out my financial plan and make my life work. So don't be afraid of moving. Be afraid of moving and not doing what we just talked about, okay? So that is today's video. One pain point, 3 solutions, and within 90 days, you can have a new business going no matter where it is you have to relocate or move, okay? Talk soon. Check us out online at toddduncan.com. If you want to follow me on social, it is Todd Duncan Official on all platforms, but Twitter is Todd's Tweets. See ya. Thanks for investing time today, learning how to land well in a new market and crush it.